king, blessed indeed are you to have developed the desire for truth and freedom. Very few there are who inquire concerning these things. Most people are busily engaged in obtaining creature comforts only, and they spend their energy chiefly in providing for themselves and their families, even though it is the universal experience that everything in this world vanishes away. And yet, do they remain attached to the dream of earthly life, forgetting that the Lord alone abideth forever? It is the great use and the glory of the human birth that to man the power is given to discriminate between the self and the non-self, and to practice the Ashtanga Yoga. And is the highest goal of human life is to be united in consciousness with the God of love. Blessed indeed are those moments of our lives when we think of God and worship Him. All other time is idly spent. Vain are all things and no account except to love God. Shun all fears of death. Cut the ties of the world with the sharp sword of renunciation. Seated in the secluded place, free from disturbing thoughts of the world, and one must first repeat in minds the sacred word of God with understanding of its meaning. That word, Om, is one with God, and indeed is God. By this practice alone, one gains control of prana and of the mind with this discriminative faculty as guide. One should, with the help of the mind, draw the senses and the sense organs completely away from the object of the world. Let the devotee now meditate upon the Lord. Let him be absorbed in Him. When absorption comes, there arises a great calmness and transcendental bliss, and that is the supreme goal, the abode of Vishnu, the kingdom of heaven. If for any reason the mind become restless again, being overpowered by the rajas or deluded by tamas, which is inertia, let it be brought again under control by the practice of concentration. And this practice alone washes away all the impurities arising from the rajas and tamas. The seers, the yogis, perfected in the art of concentration, find great joy in a spiritual life and ultimately become one with the universal love. A wise man, though living in the world, is never attached to it, neither does he seek to gratify his senses, for he knows that in the pleasure of the senses there is no true happiness, nor does he spend his energy in seeking bodily comfort. He sleeps on the lap of the earth, mother of the all, and the sky is his roof, and the grass is bed, and nature supplies him with the food. River provides his drink. He worships not the riches of the earth, nor yet the rich, intoxicated as they are by the power of the wealth. The God of love exists in the heart of all. He is our very self, and therefore very dear to us. He is the truth. He is infinitely, and He is the omnipotent Lord. Hence, should a man, freed from all selfish desire, his fine mind fixed on God, Worship him alone. Do thou, O king, meditate on him within the shrine of thine own heart, and lose thyself in the consciousness of the divine being. A true yogi, realizing the approach of death, sits calmly in yoga posture, and with his heart purified and mind under perfect control, becomes absorbed in the consciousness of the Brahman. And thus he lives in a state of perfect tranquility. Time, the great destroyer, which lords it over everything in the universe, is unannihilated. The universe itself melts into nothingness. The yogi is no longer aware of his physical self. The worshipful Lord alone is in his heart. All to him is God. Such is his blissful state. Desiring to give up the body, he allows the vital energy to pass through the different center of consciousness. First, the energy is concentrated in the solar plexus called the Manipura. From there, the energy rises to Anahata, the heart, and it then passes to the center near the throat, called the Vishuddha. And from there, it ascends to the Agna Chakra, the center between the eyebrows. At this point, one of the two things may come to pass. If the yogi has reached the state of desirelessness, he realizes the absolute Brahman and the vital energy as ends to the Sahasra, the 1,000-petal lotus center in the brain, called the doorway to Brahman. And then the yogi, realizing his unity with the Brahman, complete the separation of himself from the senses and sense organs, the mind and the body, and passes away. He attains to what is known the absolute freedom. This is called immediate liberation, the nirvana. If having raised his vital energy to the center between the eyebrow, the yogi on the other hand still has some desire left in him, he does not realize the absolute unity, but passes away, still associating himself with the mind and the senses. He then ascends to the higher and higher lokas and ultimately reaches to the Brahma Loka. There he becomes free from all desires and realizes unity with the Brahman. And thus, having attained absolute freedom, there is for him no more return. This is called gradual liberation. Be ye therefore, O king, a yogi, for by worshipping the Lord of love, one has all desire fulfilled and in the end attain to freedom. Even hearing of God stimulates the higher consciousness and bring about detachment from the flittering world. So should a man follow the path of freedom, the path of love. Blessed indeed is his life on earth who devotes himself to the worship of the Lord. How is that? Get some good sermon? So what did you understand so far? This gives you a short ride to what is there, right? What is available and what our mission should be. Well, there is a lot. And it's right inside you. It's not something it has to come from somewhere or search for it. You have to look and search for it. It's right there in every human being. You know the Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Anahat, Manipurak, Anahat, and then Agya Chakra and Sahasra, the crown chakra. The crown of your, which is called the seat of the Brahman, the seat of God, home of God, let's put it this way. So God is ever present within all of us, every moment. And do you know, a lot of people even make mistakes when you are doing the meditation. Let me ask you, when you do the holy name, and how do you do that? So you do that mentally or you do actually breathing?
Out
Huh?
loud? Inside and not out loud.
Right. But there's something more to it. Most people breathe, I have said that before, most people breathe 16 to 17 breaths per minute, right? Some people who are very angry, upset, filled with anxiety and stress, they breathe even more, 20 to 24 breaths per minute. Do you know how many breaths the dog breathes per minute? No. Dog breathes 20 to 24 breaths per minute. And that's why their lifespan is 12 to 15 the max. Right? You know, we breathe 16 to 17 breaths per minute. And this is why we have so many physical, emotional, or mental problems. So many illnesses. So, what happens? Do you know the turtle breathes how many breaths per minute?
Not many, but I don't know the count.
8 breaths per minute. 8. And they live to be 300 and more years. 8. Can you imagine if your breath will be 8 breaths per minute? So because we breathe so shallow and breathe quite a few breaths we take per minute, and that's why we have all sorts of problems health-wise. And also how it enhances our meditation, do you have any idea? When you take a long and deep breath, do you know what it does to you? Try. Did you notice that? Long breath and deep. It's like a lot of time when you are upset or, very angry, they say, breathe deep. Breathe deep. You will be fine. And truly is. When you breathe deep, then you will not be angry whatsoever. The anxiety or stress would not touch you. and your mind becomes so calm and peaceful. You reach into the meditative state when you breathe long. It supplies plenty of, your life begins with breathing and ends with what? Ends with no breathing, isn't it? So you can imagine the importance of breathing, right? And yet we hardly care for it, hardly pay attention to our breath, And this is why lots of people in meditative practice, they do not succeed because they are still doing the shallow breathings. You know what I mean? They are not aware of their breathing. So this is why Buddha started what is called the mindful breathing. Have you heard that word? Mindful breathing. And once you become a mindful of breathing, then you become a mindful of everything. Whatever action you do it with a lot of focus. Your attention span will be increased so nicely that even a sleep will be a good sleep, very good, healthy, restful sleep. So it has lots of benefit. Not only it enhances your meditation drastically, you succeed very quickly in it. So you breathe long and just watch your breath as you're breathing in. So it supplies the oxygen to your blood, it purifies the blood, and so your heart gets the pure blood, And your nervous system, your brain, And so it also helps to relax your brain, relax your mind, calm down your mind very, very nicely. So at point you started to feel so peaceful. Notice it, do even for 5 minutes, and you can notice that at once you are very peaceful, at once. So it gives a lot of oxygen and in return get rid of all the toxin from your brain, toxin from your lungs, toxin from your heart. All the toxins are cleaned out, which is called the carbon dioxide, right? So you're inhaling the oxygen, the fresh, very live oxygen, and you're exhaling what? Carbon dioxide. The more toxins are cleaned out from your system, what happens? More alive you feel, more energetic you feel, more younger you feel. And you can see the aroma of your face changes. And so all those things that occupied in your brain, just like a nervousness, anger, fear, frustration, guilt, and what is called anxiety and stress, all these things slowly started to melt away, cleaned out from your system. Is that good or bad?
It's good.
Isn't that beneficial? So what it takes that you sit in meditation, and this is why meditate, why do this? And that they have achieved through all those pranayama also. Yogananda, or even what was his name, Swami Ram, for Himalayan Institute. And they taught this very seriously, the pranayama. All those 7 pranayama. You remember those pranayama?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
What are those?
What are they? Long, Kabbalah-Bhati.
Kapalabhati, right?
There's I don't know the name of it, but you hold and lock and you breathe out. So it's 3.
That's also Brahmari. Brahmari is this one.
Oh yeah, the B one, that's right.
This Brahmari is really good for sleeping disorders, And not only that, it calms your mind down very nicely. Brahmari. So the Brahmari and next one is called Bhastrika. Do you know what Bhastrika is? Yes,
No, that's Kapalabhati.
that's Kapalabhati. Bhastrika is like it. Okay. So those people who have diabetes, who have high blood pressures, and especially after eating, they should not do those two practices. Do you know which one?
Oh,
Bhastrika and
Kapalabhati.
Kapalbhati. Okay. Okay. Though these are very, very powerful practice, what it does, it gets rid of the toxin from your body. It's like getting rid of all the toxin fast. It works really deep cleansing, let's put it this way. Deep cleansing all the organs of your bodies. So get rid of all the toxins so you can feel like a new person, very live person, very energetic. Prana is energy, right? It's called the vital life force. And if your life force is, do you know how much energy you drain every day? You are draining your energy by looking things. This is why you find the Buddhist monks or Jain monks, they just focus. They look just on their, when they're walking, they just look on their feet and nothing else. They won't look here, they won't look here, they won't look there. They say when you are not doing anything, you should keep your eyes closed. And not only it gives the rays to retinas or eyeballs and all that, give the rest to it, but it also withdraws your sidetracks. You know what I mean? The mind going here and there, or your senses, withdraws your senses. It's like the turtle do that. They can withdraw the limbs at once and put it in the cell. So similarly, all the sense organs, they take you places, right? And so the more you control those organs, actually by doing the practice of meditation, eventually at the point, it depends on you. If you are doing very vigorously every day, 2, 3, 4 times a day, and you are sitting in meditation like an hour at a time, you can do it within 3 months. And you can experience what we're talking about in this that we just read. That complete calmness, complete control of all the organs of your bodies. And you will feel very, very reserved, very focused, very calm, very centered, Nothing can affect you. You become immune to what? Immune to everything. Nothing can cause you disturbance, So, therefore, you succeed in meditation very quickly, And you start seeing, you start experiencing. And like it says, that if your focus is such good, you experience the immense light, immense joy, immense peace right then and there. And you dwell in that peace, you live in that peace, you know. And you feel so calm, so peaceful, you know, so peaceful all the time. Okay. So that is a goal of meditation. Meditation. But remember one thing that is very necessary. Do you know what that is? Can you guess?
This is your heart.
Sincere heart takes everything, isn't it? Anything you do with a sincere heart, you succeed. If you don't do with a sincere heart, you don't succeed. That's simple. But you have to watch your breath. Did you notice any broken breath? Really? One stream, and one stream moves on. And mentally you are following that breath. You are watching your breath. Yeah. And so eventually what happens, your mind becomes merged with that breath. Your mind becomes one with that breath. And not only that, you become so, no matter what you are doing, you are watching your breath. You are very conscious of your breathing, very focused on your breathing. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So once you become very focused, then what will happen? Enhance your concentrations, right? No sidetracks. You feel very, very alive and cheerful. Yeah? So there is so much beneficial, so much benefit, immense benefit of meditation. Do you think that's a hard thing to do?
No.
It's a lot easier than performing the yagyas, performing the austerities, and performing the hard practice, very difficult practice, right? So it's so simple. It's going on inside you all the time already. It's happening. But because you are not focused, what is happening? You are not getting a benefit. Simple, you're getting little benefit, a teeny benefit of that. So your age is constantly decreasing, and decreasing fast. So just notice some people in 50, 60 age, they look like a very old man, even at the age of 50. And some people 80, 90 age and they still look like a young. What is the secret? Even at 45 and 40-year age, some people full of all kind of diseases, right? Another person is 80, 90 and he hardly have maybe one or two diseases, but not so drastic. So, and this tell you one thing, that because the twice in the row in a cancer, and I'm able to survive, not because I had just had a treatment, Because even with the treatment, a lot of people dies, isn't it? Have you seen? People have all the treatment, chemo and immuno and all that, and they still did not survive. And some people survive. I'm not saying all the people happen with medicines and they are not cured. They do. But I strongly believe, and there is another reason. Do you know what another reason is? When you meditate regularly, first of all, you will never be negative. Did you understand? Because all your negativeness get cleaned out, cleared up. You feel more positive. You feel more godly. You start trusting God. You have a special connection with God. And so when you have such thing, what will happen? A lot of people who have won the cancer and they were very positive. Even the doctor have given them saying you would not survive more than 3 months. And they survived. What went on in them? Because they are very positive. They made their mind that yes, I am going to make it. Nothing can stop me. And when you say that, when you say nothing can stop me, I have all the power, I can do it. I know I can do it with the God's help. And guess what? It happens. They survive. They win the court battles. Have you seen that? And what is that? Because you have the immense power. Your subconscious mind is like a computer. And you say, I feel awful. I'm not so good. I don't think I can make it. Guess what? Your subconscious mind takes it very seriously. Do you know that? Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
And when it takes it seriously, I guess, you are going to feel very miserable. You are not feeling that great, And all the energy rushes in your favor when you feel, say, be positive, be good, Always think good, always think positive, always think righteous, be righteous. Yeah? Always, never give a chance to yourself any negative. Even somebody says wrong thing about you, Remember that some parents used to be like that? They say, I don't see any hope in you. I don't think you're going to make it. And I was hearing about some person, and he, parents and everything, and they told him, this is a low back child in the family, what they call?
Black sheep.
Black sheep of the family. And he was, during the young age, he was very lazy and he was not interested in, and he keep flunking in the high school, flunking in the college, and it will take him 2-3 times to graduate, And this guy became an IAS officer. Can you believe that? Finally, in his college time, he made up his mind, now I'm going to do it. And I have to do it. I don't have any other choice. I am going to do it. I have to do it. And he worked hard in the last moment. And he graduated. His father says, you are taking this course, to become an IAS officer, And I don't think you have a chance. The father said.
Mm.
But he believed in himself. He worked for it. And he did it. And he's an IAS officer. in Bihar. So I was reading about him. So he was the black sheep of the family, and he turned out to be one of the best one. So you can see, you can turn that around anytime you wish, anytime you want. That making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But that is, all the power is in you. You believe in yourself, you can do it. If you don't believe in yourself, you cannot do it. You have to believe in yourself, believe in God, and you can do it. Remember what it says? God helps those who help themselves. Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
So God is willing to help us, but we have to help ourselves. What do you think? We have to help ourselves. We have to do it right. We got the tools, isn't it? We have the tools. We are capable. You are not a 99-year-old. Huh? Right? You just don't have that strength or wisdom, Plenty of wisdom, but no strength. So that is not the case. We have that. But if you make up your mind, you can do it. So meditation, and that is so easy. And when you breathe in, and you can do while you are walking, while you are sitting down. You can do anytime. Isn't that? It is easily available 24 hours a day. Only thing that you have to consciously remind yourself. Consciously remind yourself to do it. Yes. What it takes. Do you have to sit down somewhere? Do you have to get away from your work or get away from everything? No. Yes, there is a special time for meditation. And if you follow that, you will be wonderful, And it's a very special time. It was called the Brahma Muhurta, between 4 to 6, right? At that time have you ever tried it? Any one of you have tried between 4 and 6?
Yeah.
Yes? What was your experience?
It depends. I mean, generally at that time when I'm awakened, which it feels like I'm being awakened, there's a lot of definite energy that is like, I would say holy energy, like prayers arise and things like that. I've had a lot of experiences along those lines. There's definitely something that happens at that time.
Yeah.
And it feels like, I've been basically awakened for that purpose, so.
That's true. It is said that when the God loves somebody, and they are really a deserving soul, God will wake you up that time. You don't have to set an alarm or anything. You automatically wake up at that time. And it's not occasionally or it happens a surprise, but almost every day it will be. Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to wake up his disciple 12 o'clock in the night and have him meditate all from 12 to morning. Meditate. And this is why his monks were so powerful. Brahmananda, Vivekananda, everybody was just so powerful, so great. And they succeeded. He said, you came to the ashram not to sleep. You didn't come to sleep. You could have stay in your home and sleep as much you want. But you came, you made yourself a mission that I don't want to waste my life. This is very precious life. And you made up that I want to go to the ashram and attain my goal, you know. And you come here, so you have to do this. And they really did. Most of them, they realized they were enlightened person, you know. So, it's so wonderful here. But we have to, and one thing I remind over and over again, we are not a young person of the block, right? Are we young? Yes? No, we are not young. We don't
He
have,
wants to say no.
Vicky don't want to say it.
No. We're not as young as we used to be.
Yes.
Some are holding
But
up
we're
better
still
than
young.
others.
We're all holding up very well.
Good. So, well, you know the one truth is that from the time you're born, the death is following us. Do you agree?
Yes.
Death is following us. Anytime it can take on us. So you cannot take this life is for granted, you know, and be wasteful of your life. You know what I mean? If you do not properly use this life, you know, and then you will feel very sorry for yourself. And that's not what you want to feel. You want to feel very grateful, and you want to appreciate yourself that I did a good thing in my own personal belief, you know. And you don't give room for repentance. You know, repent at the last moment you repent, what would you gain with that? Any benefit, anything? Will change? No, it won't change. So you could not blame anybody except yourself. You know? And that's something you don't want to do that. You know what I mean? You don't want to do that. You want to take really positive positive approach and just do it, you know. Start with slowly and then slowly increase every day, and you will see what you get out of it. And then you will start appreciating yourself even more than you ever did. But, you know, your husband can't do it for you. Nobody else can do for you. You can do it for yourself. It's your life, isn't it? It's your life. And so you're the only one can do it. You know, not even God can do it, not even Guru can do it. You know, only you can do it. So that is very important. And you have to take that. Take that important effort. You know. And I'm sure I have seen myself from where I started and where I am today is a big step, you know. And so I am very faithful and I'm very promising. I know it is very promising and it can happen to me. It can happen to any one of you. Any one of you can do it and succeed. And you can see. And then you will appreciate and you will say, oh, thanks to Mahatma, he keep after me, you know. Keep telling me over and over again and again, you know. And you will be very grateful to that. You know. I wish I was told like that,
Mm.
you know. Luckily, when I received knowledge in 1966, guess what? My guru passed away in June, 3 months later, So after that, I had no help. Can you imagine that?
Mm.
Can you imagine being on that spot? Yeah. But I kept on, I read all the literature of the ashram, and reading the satsang every time. And I kept inspiring myself, through many means. Even now, at this time, I always reading, listening, following. And it's something that if you want to be a good person, you have to be hang around with the good people, right? So if you want to be more in love with God, what you want to do, what you have to do?
Keep good company.
Keep good company. And if you don't have a good company, what would you do? Keep good literatures.
Mm.
Thanks God we have available now YouTube and what you call so many medias, and I watch those. I listen to the many yogis, many saints, many holy men. Only that I know these are great people, these are good people. I can hear their one lectures and I will know this person knows what he's talking about, and I will recognize that. So I don't waste my time or my energy on anything else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is the most important thing for me. So I'm very clear. I don't have to think twice about that. That's very clear. That is what I want, and that is where I want to go, and that is the goal I have set for myself. So I am not interested in anything else. Not in the movie, not in the other things, None of that. Not on the even those any medias and any other things. So my interest is very fixed, right? So, and because I have been doing for many, many years, over 50 years, So because of that, it has impact on me. There is a saying, karat karat abhyas se jarmati hot sudan, jaise rasri avajat se silpe parinishan. When Arjuna asked Krishna that my mind is so restless, so troubled and so tenacious, this meditation is not for me. I don't think you have taught me, I have given try, but it's not working for me because my mind just won't settle down. Do you know what Krishna said? Abhyas yogin vairagyana. Abhyas means practice, practice, practice. If one time you did and it didn't work for you, do it again, keep doing it. He gave an example just like have you seen in the old time they used to have a well? They draw the water from the well and they had a little bucket and they tie the rope, And the well used to be a stone built. And it's just like when you draw the water and bring it, and people doing all day long, and guess what? Even the stone get you have a mark on the stone,
Mm-hmm.
And very thick mark, not light. Just with the rope, keep going back and forth all day long. Keep the big mark on the stone. So same thing by abhyasa. Abhyasa means practice. It keeps the mark, puts the mark on your consciousness, on your mind. And so eventually mind will have to stop. Eventually. It will not happen right away, but eventually that will happen and you will win. Yogena. Yoga means keep uniting. When mind runs away, but don't go with the mind. Don't follow the mind. Just follow, focus. Focus on your word. Focus on the light. Focus on the music. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Keep focusing on those three things. Even the mind goes away. Eventually, mind will have no company of you, so it will come back and start focusing. So, this is true, and it is really has worked for me, and this is why I keep telling you that you should really, whenever, even though hour passes and you did not remember, that's okay. But you remember just now doing it. Keep doing it. And this way you become more conscious, more aware, and eventually the meditation becomes so easy that you can do throughout the day. You are connected with that breath throughout the day, Whenever your mind, well, that's okay. Keep focused. So eventually you will become very successful. And then you will enjoy every bit of it. Every moment of meditation you will enjoy. And one of the best thing, do you know what it is? That whatever wish you have, and it will come to you. You don't have to go after. Isn't that good?
Mm.
Whatever you want in life, it will come to you. Whether you want wealth, whether you want fame, whether you want name, whether you want, anything, or you want liberation, you want moksha, you want darshan of God, that even it will come, it will happen. So, is that good?
Mm-hmm.
So keep doing it, keep practicing, and definitely you will make it. You made this far, right? All these years you have been coming, and there is a reason. What makes you come? Because you have that coming from your heart, because your soul wants that. So want to be within nirvana, within oneness with God, And because of that, there's something inside you. You remember you got, one is mind and one is your consciousness. So your inner consciousness, intuition you may call it, or you may call it your soul is just speaking to you. Let's put it this way. The soul speaks to you. And when that's why they say that when you follow your heart, you always do good. And your heart is connected to God. But your mind is not. Your mind is not, and this is where the trouble is.
Mm.
So when mind also connected to God, then win-win the story. So when most of the time people follow their mind, right? Isn't that true?
Yes.
They follow their mind. They don't follow their heart. And it's the time to start following your heart, listen to your heart, and you will see. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Just such that.
Yeah.